And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Shell Pennzoil 400 version 1. This is the next to last race for these Division 1 drivers of the Snickers Cup Series before the season finale to end off Season 3 will take place next week at Zenjoltis. Here today we have a total of 35 cars ready to take here to the high banks of Talladega Superspeedway for 29 laps of racing. Who will come out on top? Of course, we've got our regular championship contenders here in Division 1 that we'll be keeping an eye on during the course of the day. Highest starting qualifier of those drivers is going to be Tim Walsh. He certainly needs to get back on track, and I don't know if he's mathematically eliminated right now, but he's awfully close to being eliminated, and so he really desperately needs a good run here today. He'll start off from position number 7. Trent Dunham's another championship contender who also is in need of a run that would help him get back into championship contention. He's going to roll off from position number 14. 16th place, that's where Tony Speed's going to roll off from, as the number 14 for Storehouse Racing is actually still looking for their first win of the season as well. And then there's also another championship contender back there, but he's starting way at the back of the pack, and so we'll be keeping our eyes on... No, we won't be, because Vincent Marsh has actually been replaced by Richard Earnhardt. So, actually, it's only 3 championship contenders now in Division 1, not 4. We're used to seeing 4, but the 18 car is going to be in this field, driven by Richard Earnhardt, as I mentioned, making his debut in the Snickers Cup Series, as are a few other drivers in this field. But it's only 3 championship contenders now that we're going to be keeping an eye on here in this Division 1 race, as it's going to be Eric Burton on the pole for this event alongside Sean Henley. Neither driver has yet been to victory lane in the Snickers Cup Series. That's going to be Austin LaPlante and Alan Tanker, both making their Snickers Cup Series debuts there in the 17 and the 02. Alright, let's get these cars rolling off. As I mentioned at the top of the program, 29 laps of racing. Lots of time for these drivers to make moves, and we may see some pit strategy come into play here. Talladega, wouldn't think of it as a pit strategy place, but we've seen it here during this weekend. As here's the starting lineup for today's race at Talladega Superspeedway. Alright, so the lights are out atop the Chevy Camaro pace car, which means, yes indeed, we're going green flag racing in about half a lap. As they hit the back straightaway, we'll let you know that this Going Green is brought to you by Silver Machine 9000's YouTube channel. With the best of oval and road racing, the NCG MRS Vocaloid World Cup Series has it all. Grade A drivers, Grade A cars, and Grade A competition. The Vocaloid World Cup Series is a must-see series, but you can only watch it if you subscribe to Silver Machine 9000. NCGMRS, we live racing. So who's going to win this race here today? Could it possibly be a driver such as Eric Burton or Sean Henley, who came in during they came in somewhere around the middle of the season, but they have yet to go to victory lane. But how about maybe somebody like an Austin LaPlante or an Alan Tanker making their Snickers Cup Series debut? Hey, it's not impossible. Max Skinner made his Oreo Truck Series debut in the Division 1 race here at Talladega. He won it. So it's very possible we may see something like that happen here today as well. Then you got some former winners back in row 3. Emilio Navarra, he went to victory lane, I believe it was at Texas Motor Speedway. It was either Texas or Lowe's. And Ben Ward went to victory lane back at Pocono. Going to be interesting to keep an eye, of course, on our championship contenders, Tim Walsh, Trent Dunham, and Tony Speed, who really need good runs to get and stay into championship competition for the season finale at Zenjoltis next week. If they do have hard luck, they've got to hope, they got to pray that the other drivers in Divisions 2 and 3 are going to have problems. So here we go, green flag is out, and look at Austin LaPlante. Is that a rookie move there, or what? I mean, it almost looked like a seasoned veteran move as he just split up the middle there, and Sean Henley's going to take the lead on the high side. Hendrick Motorsports, we know, has been on quite a bit of a roll as of late. Jack Richards having 2 victories. Steve Marsh a few weeks ago had a second place finish. James McLeod recently coming off a victory in the Snickers Cup Series. As they're slicing and dicing back there. They're still about 3 wide, though. Not really making any desperate 4 wide moves at this point. But, oh! Tim Walsh got turned with Jake Berg! Save it! He did save it, but the others did not! Steve Marsh is up into the fence. Or that's not Steve Marsh, that's rather Preston Ploward. Making his debut in the 24. He's involved. Ray Wilson's involved. And a championship contender in Tony Speed is in it. Oh no. Tony Speed in the 14. Out of these drivers in the championship standings, he's the one doing the best. And oh, Trent Dunham was in it too. 2 championship contenders in this thing. Connor Breton may have gotten a piece of it. Oh, Lisa Shears, I think, spun at the start-finish line. Oh, man, what a shame. There's Richard Earnhardt making his debut in the ride that was in the chase before he took over. But, oh my goodness, that's 2 championship contenders right there in the first caution of the day. Tony Speed, and there's Trent Dunham. Trent Dunham actually did not come down pit road that time, though. So maybe he's thinking of staying in. I mean, he decided not to risk a penalty by coming down pit road while it was closed. Maybe Trent's got plans of staying in this thing. Tony Speed, though, he's on pit road, so tough break for 2 championship contenders right off the bat here. Let's look back at a replay. Well, the initial contact starts up here when Tim Walsh, Jake Berg, and Kenny McCurry all get together. And then Kenny's going to come back up the racetrack. He's going to make contact with Ray Wilson. Just clips Preston Ploward, and nowhere for Trent Dunham to go. Oh, 16 of Johnny Gardner got some of that as well. Him and his debut. Look at Tony Speed, though. Is he going to get nailed by... Oh, we got hit by Richard Earnhardt down into Connor Breton. Leo Rogers got a piece of it, and Trent Dunham actually barrel rolled. How he was able to get his car going, I'm not sure, but he flipped over there in the banking. Look at the car do a little bit of a nose grind as he slides down to the apron. A tough break for him, a tough break for Preston Ploward in his debut for Hendrick Motorsports. Ray Wilson and, of course, Tony Speed. There's 2 championship contenders right there, all involved there in an incident there right in the turn 3 area. Just when I thought that we actually might be able to go through a nice little green flag run to start this race, it did not end that way. And I'll tell you who this plays into the hands of. This could move Tim Walsh back into the championship picture because of the hard luck that just was had there by championship contenders in Trent Dunham and Tony Speed. But we'll have to see. As you see Sean Henley coming down here to the stripe, he is our leader under the caution, looking to give Hendrick Motorsports their 4th win of Season 4 and pick up his first Snickers Cup Series victory in Season 3. Well, we're going to go back to green flag racing on lap 6 of 29, and already pit strategy's working out here. Sean Henley and a few more of the leaders decided to actually come down this early to make a 4-tire and fuel stop. So some drivers have now moved up into the top 10 that were not there when the caution waved. Before we get to that, though, drivers that are out after this incident are Johnny Gardner, Ray Wilson, and Trent Dunham. Dunham will finish in dead last, so Trent Dunham, I think we can safely say he has pretty much been eliminated from competing for the Snickers Cup Series Championship, so he's now got to get his let's try that again, it's easy for me to say. He's got to get his sights set on focusing on becoming Mobile One Cup Series champion, where he has a much better chance in the points there. Tony Speed is actually back on the racetrack. He is 1 lap down. Big reason that he was on pit road is his car was stuck on the apron, and he could not get going. Alright, so let's go through the field now, show you who's running where, and this is brought to you by Trent the Hedgie's YouTube channel. Are you ready to see high-speed, unpredictable racing return to YouTube? Check out Trent the Hedgie's NASCAR Sega Cup Series. Season 1 ended with a close points battle, by only 6 points. What we see this season? Tune in to Trent the Hedgie's channel on YouTube for the NASCAR Sega Cup Series. Sega! Okay, so here's the way they line up. These are the drivers who did not pit. Brittany Rogers will be the leader. Alan Tanker is 2nd. Tim Walsh 3rd. John Dillon 4th. Charles Jackson 5th. 6th place is going to be Bob Fergus with Josie Berg in 7th. 8th, Jack Richards. 9th, Robert Bann. And then you've got Darren Russell in 10th. The rest of these drivers did come down pit road. We'll go through the top 20. Sean Henley 11th. Eric Burton 12th. 13th, Austin LaPlante with Logan Wilson and Emilio Navarrete, the top 15. Stephen Dillon, Jordan Hester, Callum Wales, Catherine Young, and Ben Ward. That is the top 20. So here we go. Brittany Rogers out in front, but maybe not for long. Look at the Tony Speed machine coming down. No, he's not going to be able to get to the inside. Actually, he's off the pace a little bit. Tim Walsh moving him unceremoniously up to the high side. He's hooked up the drafting help of John Dillon, Charles Jackson, and Bob Fergus. We documented Stuart Haas Racing looking for their first victory, and Tony Speed, he's now one lap down. Oh, wait a minute, here comes Alan Tanker to the inside. Now, Alan Tanker is no stranger to the NNSCRA, but this is indeed his first Snickers Cup Series start in his career. We have seen Alan Tanker over in the Mobile One Cup Series after he took over the 75 Timmy Hill racing car from Brendan Allen. And oh, there goes Tim Walsh around! These championship contenders cannot buy a break! Walsh is up and into the outside retaining wall. His car is going to come back down the racetrack. They're wrecking up ahead. Oh, Josie Berg, his teammate, spinning down the front straightaway. Connor Breton, Jack Richards, Eric Burton, the pole sitter, Charles Jackson, Preston Ploward, Jake Berg. Oh, that was, I think, Colin Stewart. Yes, it was. Making his debut. He's involved, and oh my goodness, again, another championship contender involved here, and the leader at the line was none other than John Dillon. John Dillon was able to get the lead there. Not really much of a surprise. That was a lot of front runners that were involved in that incident there. Tim Walsh, Jack Richards among them. My goodness, Talladega Superspeedway is so unpredictable, and my goodness, it's showing its true colors today. It does not like championship contenders in the Snickers Cup Series Division 1. John Dillon, though, out in front for Penske Racing. Penske, no stranger to victory lane. Stephen Dillon went to victory lane not too long ago. That's John's younger brother. But let's look back at a replay. It looks like now those cars that did not pit last time are going to pit this time. So again, our lineup will be all shuffled around, but certainly has been shuffled by this second incident of the day occurring on lap 6. So look at a replay of what just happened. Now, the first time we talk about Robert Bann today is not exactly going to be in a good way. Watch right side of your screen. Robert Bann's just going to get into the right rear of Josie Berg. Josie up clips to your own Michael Waltrip Racing teammate. Tim Walsh spins him around. Bob Fergus trying to go around the high side. I think he does get through. But then Charles Jackson's kind of held up back there. He's going to make some contact, and you see further up here, oh, Jack Richards bounces off of Eric Burton. Then he goes up the racetrack. Josie Berg nowhere to go. Those three up and into the outside retaining wall, and then Jack's going to come back down the racetrack. Jake Berg's going to have absolutely nowhere to go with his GameStop Toyota. Runs straight into the back. And then Josie Berg, who is it that nails her? Because, Eric Burton actually flipped over. Let's see, Josie Berg, there's Josie. Oh, it's Connor Breton that runs straight into her. And Josie Berg's car goes flipping and sliding down the front straightaway. And, then Preston Ploward runs straight into the back of the Charles Jackson machine. And there you see Eric Burton still upside down after that car barrel rolled. He actually... oh, boy, I thought he landed on top of the Pepsi Chevrolet, but he didn't. Wild ride for Eric Burton. And then if that's not enough for that Tim Walsh machine, watch him. He's smoking here. And we got word that he actually hit one of the cars further up. Don't know if it was his own teammate or not. We'll see. As Tim Walsh comes through here. He's only going about 75 miles an hour, trying to get back up to speed, even though the engine in that car, you can clearly see, has gone south. And as Tim Walsh tries to maneuver his way through all the damaged race cars, of which he was one, maybe Preston Ploward he's going to hit right here. Let's see, he's trying to just continue on, and up, runs straight into the back of the DuPont Chevrolet. So Tim Walsh, another championship contender, retiring from this race, and now, I don't really know what championship contender this favors. It may not favor any of them, as all three championship contenders in Division 1 of the Snickers Cup Series have found problems here early in the Shell Pennzoil 400. Well, after all that, looks like only one car decided to stay out. Everybody else came down pit road, so Max Russell on a completely different pit sequence with everybody else, and he will inherit the lead. Let's go through a full field rundown, brought to you by Trent the Hedges YouTube channel. First off, drivers out after this big crash that occurred are the cars of Jake Berg, Colin Stewart in his debut, he's out. Charles Jackson's out. Eric Burton, Preston Ploward in his debut is out. Tim Walsh, championship contender, will retire from this race. Finished the day in 29th. Also out of the race, the cars of Connor Breton, Josie Berg, and Jack Richards. Here's the full field rundown. Make that to Max Russell is the leader. Second is John Dillon. Alan Tanker third. Brittany Rogers fourth. And Emilio Navarrete is in fifth. Sixth is Sean Henley. Robert Bann, who caused that wreck there, he's going to restart seventh. Eighth is going to be Ben Ward with Austin LaPlante in ninth. And the top 10 is completed by Catherine Young. Logan Wilson will be in 11th. 12th will be Callum Wales with Leo Rogers 13th. 14th is going to be Adam Rose, Jordan Hester in 15th, 16th Bob Fergus, Lisa Shears in 17th, 18th Stephen Dillon, 19th Theo Bain, and Richard Earnhardt runs in 20th. 21st is Kenny McCurry, 22nd Jamie Watson, and then 23rd, one lap down, that is Tony Speed. 23 of our original 35 cars still on the racetrack, 22 of them on the lead lap. Tony Speed, the lone man down low. It's going to be teammates coming down here to the start-finish line. One is on the lead lap and leading this event. The other one is a lap down. So you got to wonder, is either Max Russell going to get the 14 the opportunity to get to the front, or will the 14 tuck in behind the 10 and those two teammates work together? We'll have to see. Green flag comes out. Will Max Russell move down low to give drafting help to Tony Speed? Doesn't look like it. He's just checking out from the field instead. But now he moves down low. Let's see if Tony Speed can move up to the back bumper. Tony Speed's got a rear deck lid full of Alan Tanker, helping to push him up here. You know, we've seen how some alliances can be made between teammates in order to help another teammate do well in the championship standings. But right here, it looks like Tony Speed will not be able to do anything for himself even, as he's getting shuffled up way to the high side, and now the battle's on for the lead. Remember, John Dillon's on fresher tires than Max Russell. Max Russell was the only car not to pit after that last caution. Comes Sean Henley, outside pole sitter, back up here to the front. He's bringing Ben Ward along with him. But it's going to still be Max Russell leading at the stripe. Not for long, though. Here comes Brittany Rogers. Here comes Sean Henley. And Brittany Rogers will take the top spot. Oh, someone's scraping the wall back there. Are we still green? I think we are. Let's see. No lights on the pace car. It's a good battle back here at the tail end of the field, even though these cars have lost everybody. May have been where the scraping of the wall began. But meanwhile, there's a good battle up here at the front, 3 wide. Ben Ward's going to stick it right down to the inside. Stick Henley in the middle. Stick Rogers up to the high side. And it's going to be Ben Ward and Emilio Navarrete going to the front. As a matter of fact, I believe those two started off in the same row at the start of this event. So maybe a little strategy was worked out between them before they rolled off of pit road. Well, 3 wide for the lead again. This time it's going to be Max Russell taking the low road. And oh, Robert Bann nearly just got turned by John Dillon. But he saved it. You know, Robert Bann, probably a lot of people not too thrilled with him back in the garage area right now, or those that have just been released from the infield care center. But Robert Bann, you know, you really can't put the blame on him. Robert Bann seldom makes any mistakes. And Robert Bann right there, he was just drafting with the 00 as, Emilio Navarrete and Alan Tanker down in the apron. And they literally just went through turn 4 on the apron. What are they thinking? Oh my goodness. And how they saved it, I don't know. I have no earthly idea. These are not off-road vehicles. They're not made for something like that. Normally, if a car hits the apron like that, it's just going to snap around, and they kept it straight. Absolutely amazing display of driving right there by Emilio Navarrete and Alan Tanker. Alan Tanker, that just shows you that he does have experience in the NNSCRA with what he was able to do there, even though this is his Snickers Cup Series debut. Brittany Rogers, forces her way under Adam Rose for the top spot, getting help from Robert Bann and Sean Henley. And Robert Bann is going to maybe make a challenge. No, Sean's looking to the inside. Where's his drafting help going to come from, though? Looks like it may come from Max Russell, as they are almost 4 wide there for second. John Dillon, I think, is going to back off and let them have at it. Oh, but maybe. Yes, they will. Whoa, Max Russell sticking it way down low, and now they're going to settle back to 3 wide racing, which is always a comfort to see that happen. Although at this racetrack they can race 4 wide. We've seen them do it, and you know, they're able to keep it together, so it's not nearly as bad. But whoa, man, Sean Henley and Max Russell didn't give each other all that much real estate to work with off into turn 3 there. They were almost banging doors, which is rather interesting because Max Russell gets his equipment from Stewart-Haas Racing, which have an alliance with Hendrick Motorsports, so you'd think they would be kind of unofficial teammates, but didn't show any teammateship, if that's a word, teammateship there. I just coined a new word if it's not already there. We're starting to see a few drivers work their way up here to the front we haven't seen yet. Namely, the Red Bull Toyota number 4 of Logan Wilson and the Penske number 12 Dodge. Whoa! Alan Tanker and Emilio Navarre got together again. Is there something going on between those two? That time, Alan Tanker nearly turned Emilio Navarre. The time before, Emilio Navarre nearly turned Alan Tanker. What's the deal here? I don't know what it is, but I don't really like it. I mean, you guys want to fight something out, do it by going near the back of the pack, so that way you don't involve any other instant race cars. Luckily, they are separated now. They've got Jordan Hesder between the two of them, so maybe Jordan Hesder can maintain the peace here or something. I don't know. But just hope those two don't seek each other out again. Who knows? Maybe there's something from the Mobile One Cup Series boiling over here into the Snickers Cup Series. Because, well, no, it can't, because Emilio Navarre and Alan Tanker racing the separate divisions. So I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, hopefully they'll settle it out without wrecking any innocent race cars before this thing is over. Sean Henley started off in second, would love to finish first. He's going to come to the front. Look who's bringing with him. Looks like there's an alliance being formed right there between Sean Henley and Robert Band. I've seen them drafting with each other quite a bit during this event. Also, another interesting scenario up here. Look at the 2 Dillon brothers. That could be an alliance that could form at the end of this race. You got John Dillon up there in the 2 and Stephen Dillon in the 12. Now, Stephen's been to victory lane already this season. John, not yet. John Dillon's biggest series has been the Oreo Truck Series, where he's got 2 victories and is a championship contender, but his little brother and he might be able to get something going here. As a matter of fact, I think they're about to do that. Whoa, 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 they got off the course. Whoa! Brittany Rogers nearly got turned by John Dillon, and she saved it. Man, some incredible saves being made here today. And there you go. Well, nope, I'm just going to not say anything. I was about to say, there you go, the 2 Dillon brothers working together, but that didn't happen. Oh, now they are. Now they are. But Steven actually moved out of line there. You know, both of them actually are in a championship hunt. John Dillon in the trucks and Stephen Dillon in the mobile. But I think the official word has come out that both those drivers have now been eliminated from competing for those championships. But nonetheless, they both made a chase. But here in the Snickers Cup Series, it has not been as lucky for them. And John Dillon, as we mentioned, looking for his first victory of Season 3 in the Snickers Cup Series. Stephen Dillon looking for his second. But right now, as we're talking about the Dillon brothers from Penske Racing, the 04 and the 13, they're working together. And oh, there's this 10 diving to pit road, Max Russell. Let's not forget, he's on a different pit sequence from these other drivers. He stayed out the last time the caution came out. Everybody else came back in, so he is going to have to come down pit road for a regularly scheduled stop. So apparently he was banking on a quick caution coming out or something. It did not happen, and so under the green flag is how Max Russell will have to make his pit stop. Seeing a few former winners up here inside the top 5, but 3 of the top 5 drivers have not yet been to victory lane. As a matter of fact, as I look further back, only 3 of the top 10 drivers have been to victory lane already. Stephen Dillon, Adam Rose, and Callum Wales. There's another alliance that could form right there. You got so let's try and put together some alliances here we could see at the end of this race. You got Steven and John working together, and let's not forget they got a fellow Dodge here in Brittany Rogers. They may form up with her. We've seen Sean Henley and Robert Band work together. Then you got the Richard Childress cars of Callum Wales and Adam Rose, who could be working together before long. There you see Max Russell coming off pit road. Not sure who Jordan Hesder would work with. As he's back there, he may possibly work with fellow Ford Robert Band, as Stephen Dillon's now going to go for the lead. Robert Band, though, he moves Stephen Dillon out of the way. He's going for the lead. Oh, look out. They got the slower car up here of Max Russell. Well, not really slower, but he's just come back onto the racetrack. And, oh, Adam Rose is heading for pit road. Regularly scheduled stop for the 3. Let's look back and follow him. Adam Rose coming down pit road. This may be the time when these drivers are going to have to start thinking about green flag pit stops for the end of this event. 9 laps to go if you haven't been watching the ticker down in the bottom left. And Adam Rose gave up the 5th position to come down and make this pit stop. So maybe thinking about playing some pit strategy here. Maybe it could work out and give him his 2nd win of this season. Tony Speed, the lap car, also coming down pit road. As we come back up here to the front, it's going to be Brittany Rogers still leading. Max Russell is actually a lap down, but if these cars do cycle through their green flag pit stops, we could see Max Russell back in the lead lap, and not 1 lap later do we see Callum Wales coming down pit road. So the 2 Richard Childress cars, either one of 2 things. Either they're both working out some strategy here to be able to become drafting partners and maybe go 1-2 at the end, or could also be the fact that they both are not getting quite the fuel mileage that these other drivers are. There's some more teammates. Austin LaPlante and Emilio Navarrete, and also Leo Rogers coming down pit road. So the 2 Roush Fenway cars are coming down. There's also Richard Earnhardt in the Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota. He's making his debut, and he's coming down pit road. Catherine Young hitting the pit lane as well. Who will we see now out of these lead lap cars? We got Brittany Rogers, Logan Ryan, Stephen Dillon, Alan Tanker, Jordan Hester, Robert Band. Looks like Logan Wilson will come down pit road. So will Stephen Dillon, so will Jordan Hester, and so will Sean Henley. So drivers who are running in 3rd, 5th, 8th, and 7th are coming down pit road now. There's Henley making his pit stop. Logan Wilson just behind, Jordan Hester behind him. Also Ben Ward made a pit stop in the 19 car. Brittany Rogers yet to come down pit road. Same for Robert Band, same for Alan Tanker, and same for John Dillon. Will they come down this time on lap 24? Brittany Rogers, she's been dominant today, really, for the second half of this event. Brittany has not really relented the lead, and it looks like it's going to be Brittany Rogers, Robert Band, and Alan Tanker coming down pit road now. Which means that John Dillon is deciding still to stay out. Kenny McCurry, Jamie Watson, they're diving for pit road now. Kenny was in 5th. Jamie Watson was in 6th. As here come these cars back onto pit road. And there's your leader, John Dillon. The last lead lap car, I believe, that has to come down pit road. So he's stretching a little bit more than everybody else. Good news for him, he's got these cars in front of him, Adam Rose and Max Russell, that he's able to draft with, so that way he's not going to lose any ground to anybody as far as with the green flag being out. And now finally the leader, John Dillon, will come down pit road, and this is the last car to make a pit stop. We'll keep following the Miller Lite Dodge. I believe 2nd place right now may be Brittany Rogers. We're going to have to find that out. Going to have to get the official word of where everybody is running after these green flag pit stops. What's the strategy going to be on the Miller Lite Dodge? Looks like it's only a fuel-only stop. Very interesting there. Just get in with it, get on with it, get over with it, and get out with it for that John Dillon machine. Let's see where the leaders are. There's Brittany Rogers. She is in 2nd, as I thought. Alan Tanker is in 3rd. Battle on for 4th between Logan Wilson, Robert Band, and Stephen Dillon. Now, Brittany has just hit the start-finish line now. John Dillon is coming out of turn number 1 and 2. So if he can get that car up to speed, he may be able to keep ahead of Brittany Rogers, but let's see here. John's coming down the back straightaway. Nope, here comes Brittany Rogers. Here comes Alan Tanker. He's got to get that car wound up and in a hurry, because here comes the field. Maybe if he can get up right in front of Brittany Rogers. No, thinks better of it. Stays behind. And John Dillon's going to slip back from the lead to 3rd place at this point. But here comes Logan Wilson. He'll try and take that 3rd position. Here comes Stephen Dillon. Here comes Robert Band. And now he's going to find his place right here. Well, no, they're going to keep shuffling him. John Dillon now has lost 4th, 5th, and now 6th place. As it still is all Brittany Rogers with 3 laps to go. How would it be for Alan Tanker taking over the 02 car for Alex Filter, making his debut in the Snickers Cup Series to be able to go to victory lane? He doesn't have a victory yet in the NNSCRA, even though he has raced about half the season over in the Mobile 1 Cup Series. But not yet has he visited victory lane in an NNSCRA event. It could happen here, and I think they got a slower car up ahead. Now, Catherine Young is just coming out of down into the entrance of the tri-oval. Whereas Brittany Rogers, they're now heading out of turn 4. So I don't think they will meet up with Catherine Young before this event is over. Catherine Young seems up to speed. As now Alan Tanker's getting shuffled. It's going to be Brittany Young still leading, but now a new 2nd place challenger in Logan Wilson, then Stephen Dillon, and now Alan Tanker slips back to 4th, but here comes Robert Bann, here comes John Dillon. They want to join the party and make it a 6-man fight for the lead. Jordan Hester back there, he's kind of lost the draft, same with Sean Henley and T.O. Bain and Callum Wales, even though they all are still running inside the top 10. Here comes Logan Wilson to the inside. Logan to the front in the 4 car. This would actually be Red Bull Racing's first victory of Season 3. Neither Wilson, nor Dougie Shears, nor Matthew Rodriguez have yet gotten to victory lane in the Snickers Cup Series event in Season 3. As here they come, white flag is displayed, 1 more lap. Logan Wilson, Stephen Dillon, here comes Dillon, peeking to the inside. Will he get the run? Yes, he will. Stephen Dillon needs a drafting partner, though. Who's it going to be? It's going to be John Dillon. I told you the Dillons would probably start working together here in the closing stages of this race, but they've got no drafting help. It's 4 cars up high, 2 cars down low. Now here comes another drafting partner, Brittany Rogers. Another one in Robert Bann, and the low side will start to kick in now. Oh, John Dillon about to get challenged for 2nd, or for 3rd rather. No, Brittany Rogers stays in behind him. The 3 dodges, nose to tail. Stephen Dillon, John Dillon, then Brittany Rogers. Out of turn 4 they come. John's looking to make a move. He's got drafting help in the form of Brittany Rogers. But here comes Robert Bann. He's going to be the drafting help. It's going to be a drag race all the way to the line between the brothers Dillon. Who's going to get it? John low, Stephen high at the stripe. I don't know who got it. Was it older brother John or younger brother Stephen? What's the official word? Still waiting for the official word to come in, as it was a dead even tie right at the line between the 2 Penske teammates, the 2 brothers, Stephen and John Dillon. And the word is that Stephen Dillon has won this race. He edged out his older brother to pick up his 2nd Snickers Cup Series victory of Season 3. The official word? Well, I don't know. It was less than 1/100th of a second. We know that. It was into the thousandths. And Stephen Dillon's going to do a victory lap. Brittany Rogers is actually going to come behind him. I don't know why, because this is actually just Stephen Dillon's victory lap, but I don't know. Maybe she just wants to offer congratulations or something. But Penske Racing picks up its 2nd victory of Season 3. And it's Stephen Dillon that has given Penske Racing both its victories, as Stephen Dillon goes to victory lane once again. So close, but yet so far for John Dillon. He almost got his first Snickers Cup Series victory of Season 3, but how about that? It came down between 2 brothers. It's a 1-2 finish for Penske Racing here at Talladega Superspeedway, and little brother edged out older brother here at Talladega Superspeedway. What an event! Can't wait to find out. I'm actually getting word it may have been about 2 1,000ths of a second that Stephen Dillon won by. Let's look back at a replay of that amazing finish between the teammates and the brothers. Okay, we got this in real slow-mo, so that way we're going to be able to see just exactly how it went down. John Dillon, really, he couldn't have timed it any better. He used the drafting help of Brittany Rogers, then used the drafting help of Robert Bann to come down here, and he had the run. Stephen Dillon, all he could do was just hope that he'd have drafting help behind him and be able to hold off John Dillon. And just watch this drag race down to the stripe. At this point, John's drawing even. He's drawing even closer, even closer, even closer. And quite honestly, I thought John had him. But the official word was no. Let's see here. At the stripe, did indeed Stephen Dillon beat out John Dillon? Yes, he did. Yes, indeed he did. No doubt about it. John Dillon did indeed, just by mere inches, lose that race. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that finish. Unbelievable. See if we can get another good camera view of it. Don't know if we can. No, not really from there. Take a look from the helicopter view. You'll see what I can see here. You can see that clearly Stephen Dillon did get John Dillon at the line, but my goodness, what a finish. Look at that. What a finish right there. What a sight. And not only two Penske teammates finishing 1-2, but it was two brothers. A sibling rivalry there on the final lap. And what an event. As a matter of fact, Stephen Dillon now becomes the third driver in the Snickers Cup Series Season 3 to hold 2 victories, along with Jack Richards and Aaron Williams. So congratulations to him on that. You can bet it's going to be a Dillon victory down in Victory Lane. No doubt about it. You'll see John down there as both the brothers come away with a 1-2 finish as both siblings and teammates. Thanks, folks, for watching. Man, what a start to the Snickers Cup Series here at Talladega. Championship contenders all having trouble today, but it came down between two teammates, two brothers from Penske Racing, and Stephen Dillon picks up his second Snickers Cup Series victory of Season 3. For everybody here at Talladega Superspeedway, I'm Seth Cole. Hope you'll join us for Divisions 2, Divisions 3, as certainly Talladega is making its presence felt in the championship standings. If you were in this division, you want to know where you were in the standings, be sure and check back at the end of Division 3. Here comes the official finishing results and the official word on just how close that finish was. You've been watching the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.